This beautiful stable, known by many as the Cathedral of the Horse, was not always empty. On the contrary, as of the 16th century and for more than 4 centuries, it accommodated the best stud horses in Andalusia. The stable is part of the Royal Stables building, which Philip II ordered to build in Córdoba, within the San Basilio neighborhood, next to the Alcázar built by King Alfonso XI, as part of a more ambitious project. The king intended to obtain good horses for his royal house and for the improvement of the equine herd of his kingdoms. The project consisted in creating a new stud farm, the Royal Stud of Córdoba, or the king already had another one in Aranjuez, the Royal Stud of Aranjuez, inherited from his great-grandparents, the Catholic monarchs. The Córdoba stud farm was based on the agile, fast, and resistant horses that existed in his southern kingdoms, the kingdoms of Andalusia, Córdoba, Jaén, Seville, and Granada, as well as in the province of Extremadura and the kingdom of Murcia, so as to obtain the best horse in his kingdoms, the Andalusian horse. In order to achieve this objective, Philip II appointed Don Diego López de Araguzman Great Equerry. He was a Cordovan nobleman, descendant of Doña Beatriz de Sotomayor, Marchioness of Olcarpio, and the famous Castilian knight Don Diego López de Haro. The equerry was gentleman of the royal house, Caballero 24 of the Council of Córdoba, an excellent stock breeder and famous for his equestrian knowledge. To set this project in motion, the first 51 mares, chosen by Don Diego in the Aranjuez stud, arrived in the Alameda del Obispo, a pasture near the banks of the Guadalquivir River, in 1565. These mares, along with the horse Astillano, formed the first herd of this new royal stud farm. The building work of the stables, their governing building, began in 1568 and was completed in 1566. To house and exploit in an extensive 2-field pastoral system almost 1,000 mares included in the project, the pastures of La Ribera, Córdoba la Vieja, Las Pendolillas, or Las Gamonosas were acquired or rented. For its operation, the king stipulated, as from 1570, an annual budget of 6,000 ducats, which were to be provided by the Board of Works, Gardens and Forests, from the profits obtained in the salt works of Andalusia. Besides, and as far as we know, 2 more sums were allocated for the acquisition of mares, one of 4,500 ducats in 1572 and another of 75,000 maravedis in 1578. All the mares and horses were chosen to Don Diego's liking in the kingdoms of Andalusia. The king had such an interest in this venture that he visited the work from February 20 to April 26, 1570, when court was held in Córdoba. The building of the royal stables was built to house the government offices of the Royal Stud Farm of Córdoba, the equerry, and a 50-person staff, as well as the stables and everything necessary to accommodate more than 100 horses. Stallions during resting periods, they were moved to the pastures in mating seasons, and 4-year colts needing breaking in. there was a devastating fire in the stables in 1752, and by mandate of Ferdinand VII, the then Equerry Don Fernando Alvarez de Toledo, 12th Duke of Alba, rebuilt them in a short period of time. For this reason, the coat of arms of Charles III, proud of its reopening, has appeared on the building gates since 1759 as a reminder of that fact. Then, in 1909, in the midst of the Peninsular War, a number of these renowned Cordovan horses were confiscated by the French army. However, it is said that when the Patriot troops lost the Battle of Ocaña, the General Governing Board sent the best stallions to the stables and the best mare of the Royal Stud Farm of Cordoba to the Balearic Islands, in order to keep them safe and safeguard the breed. These mares and horses never returned to Cordoba, but to the Royal Stud of Aranjuez as of 1814. From then on, the building was assigned to the Ramo de la Guerra, as you can see at the bottom of this stable, where the coat of arms of the cavalry still shines, and destined to be a stallion depot to accommodate the stallions of Andalusia. The royal stables of Cordoba are not important for having this beautiful stable and this monumental building of the 16th century, or for the strategic area of Cordoba where they were built, or for its beautiful Eiffel-style arena. If these stables are important, it's because they are the place where the Andalusian horse, the world-famous horse that is nowadays known by many as the purebred Spanish horse, or simply the Spanish horse, has been forged. While it was in the crucible of Cordoba, drinking in the Guadalquivir, in benign climates, underneath the bright sun of this land, with abundant pastures, and galloping in the extensive Cordoban pastures, that the Andalusian horse was born and raised. And why do we say that the Andalusian horse was created here? Don Diego was an advanced sow technician, and to finish this project he did a series of genetic crosses in which he always, or almost always, used the same stallions: El Perfecto, El Noble, Ranello, Relámpago, Enrejado, El Duquecillo, El Gamo, and others, all mares, sisters, daughters, or granddaughters with similar characteristics. This population acquired a high consanguinity rate. Don Diego worked with this selection method for 33 years, from 1565 to 1598, always with the aim of obtaining a particular type of horse, the one he had idealized in his head. And 33 years are many years, at least in the equine species, because it allows us to intervene in more than 6 generations, which are enough to fix morphological characteristics, since it has been proven that 5 controlled generations yield 95% genetic purity. Don Diego's unique and wise criterion resulted, in addition, in a prototype of a recognizable horse. Thus, from horses inherited from the Baetica of the Roman Empire, improved under the sensitivity and criterion of the beautiful and agile Arab horses, able to serve the Berber riders for their typical tourne et fouille combats. From these horses, Don Diego was able to achieve in Cordoba a new prototype, which we all recognize as the Andalusian horse. A horse that, when seen ambling along fairs and pilgrimages, and competing in dressage at the highest level, makes us Andalusians proud of its beauty, its presence, its elegance. Because for us, and for many, it is the best horse in the world.